Is travel anxiety holding you back from traveling more frequently or spending time visiting and exploring other places? Welcome back, or welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Alyssa Cotten, and I provide emotional and mental support for new coaches, counselors, content creators, and entrepreneurs so they can thrive in their business. And if you answered yes, that travel anxiety holds you back, stay tuned till the end to learn my 5 tips for you to navigate and manage your anxiety so you can travel like a pro. Let's get started. So a little bit of backstory. I used to really suffer from travel anxiety to the point where days before I would travel, I wouldn't be able to eat, and my appetite would get so suppressed that even when I was traveling, I could only eat a couple meals a day because I was just consumed with anxiety that it wasn't fun for me, and I was so caught up in, did I leave something? Did I forget something? And I would get so stressed out. I have narrowed down my 5 best tips that I have used to help me with travel anxiety, flight anxiety, anything that correlates or connects to travel and having that anxiety because of that uncertainty or that sense of unease. So the really nice thing about these tips is they are designed to be used at any point, whether that's while you're at the airport and you're kind of getting ready to get on your flight, maybe you're at your gate, maybe you're walking down the kind of terminal, or this can be tips that you can use on the flight. So maybe you're sitting down, you're in the air, and your anxiety starts to peak. These tips can also be utilized before you even get to the airport. So whether that's days, hours, or even weeks before your travel and your anxiety starts to increase and peak. So let's dive in and talk about the different techniques that you can use that are going to help you navigate and manage your travel anxiety. So these techniques can be used at any time throughout the travel, whether that's days before your flight, whether that's days after your flight. This is designed for you to lower your anxiety at any moment that you notice your anxiety associated with travel peaks. Using one of these 5 techniques is going to be so helpful and so effective. So tip number 1 is visualization, and you are going to visualize 15 minutes after arriving to your desired destination. And so I mean 15 minutes after, not when you've landed, not when you are in your Uber, your shuttle, your car rental, whatever mode of transportation you're taking. I mean 15 minutes after the goal of the trip. So if you are going on a leisure trip, and let's say you're going to Hawaii, 15 minutes after you've already unpacked your bags, maybe you're getting ready to go on the beach. So what you're gonna do is you're going to visualize this anywhere. So you can have your eyes open, you can have them closed, whatever works for you, whatever setup works for you. And what you're going to do to allow you to really dive into this visualization is you're gonna ask yourself what your 5 senses are in that visualization. So let's go back to the Hawaii theme. So if my desired location is Hawaii, I've checked into the hotel, I've unpacked my bags, and now I'm getting ready to head to the beach. So I might be on the beach and I'm putting my beach towel down, and I'm gonna start visualizing my 5 senses. So, you know, what you hear, smell, taste, touch, and see. So I would see maybe some seagulls flying, I'll see the waves, the sand, I would touch the sand. Maybe I will taste the coffee that I had that morning in my mouth. I'm going to smell maybe the sea salt or the ocean water, or maybe I've got a pina colada next to me in my visualization. You're going to visualize whatever you want that's going to help you realize why you are visualizing this desired location. And so you're going to access all of your senses, which is going to help you naturally lower your heart rate, which is going to help you distract from your anxiety and remind you the reason and the purpose of your travel in the first place. So if it's not as glamorous as going to Hawaii, maybe you've got a business trip that you're doing, and so you can visualize 15 minutes maybe after checking into the hotel, you've taken your travel clothes off and you're just resting on the bed, maybe looking over some notes you've got for your maybe business presentation or whatever it might be. And let's say you're going to travel to visit family, maybe family really stresses you out. So what you're going to do is visualize 15 minutes maybe after you've hugged them, you've caught up with them, maybe you're enjoying a really nice yummy meal. So focus on those positive attributes of why you're traveling and visualize that again with your 5 senses. Is going to help you naturally lower your anxiety and lower that sensation of that anxiety that you have associated with travel. And the nice thing about the visualization is that every time that you travel, you can change it depending depending on your desired destination. Let's say you're going on a multiple week trip and you're going to different destinations. You can use this exercise to visualize every step of the way. You can do this at your home, you can do it at the airport, you can do it on the flight. You can even do it to visualize coming home and unpacking and being in your own space and really enjoying that environment. So that visualization is perfect because, again, you can do it with your eyes open and your eyes closed, whatever works for you. And so really what helps you get there from just a different guided meditation is accessing those 5 senses. So number 2 is creating a calming jar, using a calming jar. And I have a video here that talks about how to create your own calming jar. There's just 2 ingredients. It's just baby oil and glitter. And because this is like the travel size baby oil, this is TSA approved. I bring it on all my flights. And as you can see in this video, I just put it on the tray and I let the glitter fall. And what I will do is I'll either focus on the glitter while just focusing on my breath, or I just kind of use it to kind of give me a state of zen by kind of watching the glitter fall. It can be very calming, it can be very relaxing. It's a form of mindfulness, which allows you to be in the present moment. And you can pick whatever color works for you. If you want pink, green, purple, blue, whatever color works for you. And you can watch that video on how to make it, and it's super easy and they're super fun to travel with, and they're so effective. The tiny ones, these travel ones, end up being anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes depending on how much you shake it. So that can be 5 minutes of zen on your flight. Before your flight, you can even hold it in your hand and just kind of watch the glitter fall. It's a super easy, effective tip and useful for you. Tip number 3 is reading a book. And so here is a book, and why I think books are so much more effective than watching a movie or even a TV show on your tablet is because when you open the book, what happens is you have to use your imagination to explore what do the characters look like, what are they wearing, what's going on, what's the environment, what's the scene. You have to use your imagination, which requires you to use your prefrontal cortex. And when we use our prefrontal cortex, we're able to be more in the moment, which means less anxiety will be as a result. Because when this part of the brain, our prefrontal cortex, kind of shuts off, that's when our anxiety amplifies. So doing something that's going to help distract you by thinking, which is reading. This can be fiction, nonfiction, personal development, whatever it is, but an actual hard copy. Because when you are watching a show or a movie when you're on the flight, what can happen is your mind will drift and wander to all of your anxiety, your panic, your sense of unease, and you're more likely to embrace your anxiety when you're watching a movie because there's less thinking involved. It's very like, well, I don't even care what's happening. Usually we watch shows or movies that we've seen before, another anxiety coping technique. But if you have a book, then you actually have to kind of use all of your senses to figure out what's happening, whether that's fictional or even if it's a personal development book, you have to reflect and think about the questions that you've got. And if you're not wanting to read a book, you can also bring, this is my little travel like journal, and you can journal, you can script, you can write your affirmations, you can write what you're excited about, maybe a bucket list for your travels. And so using something that requires your thinking brain, your prefrontal cortex, what's going to help you distract you, which will naturally lower your anxiety as a result. So whether that's journaling in a book or actually reading a book, either option is going to be really effective for you as you're navigating your anxiety. And the nice thing about the book is they're not going to say, put it in airplane mode, make sure it's unplugged for takeoff and takedown. You can open this at your gate, you can open this on your flight, you can open it days before your flight, and you can just sit there and read and allow yourself to lower your anxiety as you're experiencing the story in the book. So that's a super effective. The book that I am currently reading is The Greatest Secret by Rhonda Byrne. She's got lots of other books. If you've ever heard of The Secret, this is her newest book that I am reading. And I actually got this book for travel because I have a hard copy, and this one talks all about anxiety relief. So this one is super effective, especially for flying and travel. Tip number 4, and I have to put a little disclaimer out there. I'm not a medical doctor and I'm not your provider, so I'm not prescribing you this. This is an over-the-counter supplement, and it is magnesium, or what the drink is called is Calm, and I'll insert a photo right here about this. And so usually Calm comes in tubs. You can get them in gummies, you can get them in pill form, but what I really like is they have these travel packets, which is super perfect. It has 1 serving size of magnesium in here, and it has 255 milligrams of magnesium, 63% of your daily dose of magnesium. So usually when I'm traveling, I will take 2, and that's going to help lower your muscle tension. It's going to help relax you. Magnesium is a natural muscle relaxer, and so if you have muscle pains, aches, pains, anxiety, this is perfect for you. And so it's really cool because this drink is called the anti-stress drink. So magnesium is there to help lower your stress. So what happens is, which is really nice that the drink does, is if your muscles are really tight, for example, and your shoulders are all the way up to your ears, what's going to happen is your anxiety is going to be more tense, because when our muscles are tense, our anxiety rises. So with the magnesium, it's going to allow us to relax our muscles, and when we can relax our muscles, the anxiety will naturally lower on its own. And so there's so many reviews out there. Again, I'm not a medical provider, so I am not prescribing this, disclaimer, but this is something you can get over the counter. There's no prescription needed. Get it at any health food store, any grocery store. And so magnesium, and so the packets I order online, and then I have them in my purse. I have them in all my luggage, so they're ready to go when I travel. You just put them in water, you stir it up, and then you drink it, and it's ready to go. So this is super easy, effective. You can use it before you fly. I usually take it before I fly so I can feel relaxed before I even get to the airport. So that's an easy, effective tip for you. My 5th tip for travel anxiety relief is breathing exercises. And I have found the most effective breathing exercise while experiencing travel anxiety is actually triangle breathing. So triangle breathing is when you're breathing in the shape of a triangle. So what you do is you inhale for 4 seconds, you hold your breath for 4 seconds, and then you exhale for 4 seconds in the shape of a triangle. So why don't you try it with me? So let's all take a deep breath. And then inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you can take a deep breath and then repeat as needed. And so what happens with those 2 types of exercises, with counting and focusing on your breath, the counting will help distract your mind from focusing on your anxiety, while the breathing technique helps change the pattern of breathing, which will naturally lower your anxiety, because when we can regulate, which means kind of change our heart rate, regulate our heart, which the amount that our heart kind of is pounding, we can regulate that. When we can regulate our heart rate, we actually are lowering our anxiety in a super effective, natural way, which is why breath work is so important. So triangle breathing is my favorite, especially for travel anxiety, because nobody knows you're doing it. No one's gonna go and be like, that person's doing triangle breathing. They're gonna have no idea, because obviously you're not gonna be counting like this. You're gonna be counting in your head, focusing on your breath, and you're going to be doing this type of breathing exercise. It's going to be super effective, and it's going to help you manage, and you can do it anywhere. You can do it before you fly, while you're flying, after you're flying. It's a super effective, easy tool, and you just keep repeating until you feel like you've hit the desired relief that you are searching for. So that concludes my 5 most effective tips to manage your and travel anxiety. Let's recap. Number 1 is visualization. Visualize 15 minutes your desired destination, 15 minutes after your desired destination. Number 2 is the calming jars. So you can do them in whatever color, but create them and bring them along with you. Number 3 is getting a hard copy book or journal that you can use while flying, traveling. Number 4 is taking magnesium supplements. And number 5 is doing breathing exercise such as triangle breathing. So those are my top 5 most effective skills and tips to use while you're navigating your travel anxiety. I have so many other travel tips. If you would love a part 2 video, I can definitely do a part 2 video where I can talk about other things that I've also used to help lower my anxiety when I'm traveling. And if you are struggling with more than just travel anxiety, or travel anxiety has hindered you from traveling, I would love to work with you to help you heal and navigate your trauma. So you can definitely book a call with the link below in the description, information on how to work with me, and we can set up a call to see if you are a good fit for my online program, Inner Compass Accelerator. I'd love to work with you and help you heal your anxiety. I'd love to hear from you. What are your favorite travel anxiety relief tips? Were one of the 5 that I listed ones that you already use, or do you use different ones? I'd love to hear in the comments below. So as you can see in this video, I also have other things that I use while I'm traveling, such as noise canceling headphones, essential oils, and things to fidget with. So I can definitely do that in a part 2 video. But if you want to learn more, check out my travel bag, what's in my bag, and that talks all about different anxiety things that I have. Again, if you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. I release videos out every single Monday.